Okay, new episode of Chat on the Bench with
Anto. If you don't know me already, I'm Anthony, Black Anto, MC, or Mr. Yorkshire Tea, something like that. I don't know. Everyone's got a million names for me, but hey, we're here.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, man.
It's a
I'm
pleasure.
glad.
I've been wanting to interview you for for ages, and then
That's a blessing.
it was last week or a few days ago. I was like, just drop him a message. When did you move to Bristol?
So I moved to Bristol probably like 2.5 years ago. I just thought, I don't know, I need to move somewhere where it's outside of my little village, because I've come from a little village like up north in between two cities, Leeds and York. So I've
Not
been
much going on there, or
it's dead quiet. It's dead quiet. Like I'm waking up to chickens in the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
oh wow,
it's
okay.
that
It's a
kind of vibe.
countryside kind of thing.
Yeah, really
All right.
countryside. Yeah.
How do you find Bristol? Is it like you adjusted quickly to it, or?
Oh yeah, I was excited from like way before I was even like meant to start even thinking about like applying to university. Like I got to Bristol, and I was so excited by all the things that I'd seen on social media about the place. I was excited by sort of just like the culture. I was like, this is the place for me, and yeah, I love it. I love it. It's just so exciting. Like honestly, it's so condensed, but so exciting.
Did you know Bristol before, or like literally you moved first time?
So my sister went to the Bristol Old Vic, the theatre school here, and I would sort of just get taken on the trips up when she was like moving in to like different houses and stuff, and like we'd be in the car looking at like the graffiti, or in like Stokes Croft, or like up in Clifton, seeing the sort of lovely places up there, and so like I sort of could gauge like an idea of what the city was about, like through that initially, and I just thought when it came to the time of moving to uni, I was like, I've got options. Usually when you're from where I'm from, you either go to Leeds, or you go to Manchester, or you go to Newcastle. But I don't know, I just thought, let's just do something crazy.
Yeah, I heard good things about Leeds. I've never been, but yeah, people say
it's a good vibe,
like,
man,
lively. So what do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living? Well, I'm a full-time student at the minute. I study media production, and I want to sort of like level down and narrow it to more radio and presenting. That's stuff that I want to do. Nice. I want to get more in front of camera. I want to like be able to do shoots and do fun things over like the media, whether it's TV or anything like that. But outside of that, I'm an MC. Part-time. I know when people say like, oh, what do you do for a living? Like you can't really say like your hobby because it's hard to make money.
So maybe it's not full-time, like, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
It is a full-time.
Well, yeah, it is actually when you think of it, because when I'm at home, I'm sat writing, I'm sourcing ideas, and I'm listening to instrumentals, connecting with people through social media for when I can go to the raves or go to the open mics and perform with people. That is full-time. A lot of time and effort is really put into, I guess, what I do. So yeah, I guess your point is right.
Yeah. Hey, like you're like grime MC, or like what kind of MC?
So I guess more in Bristol, I'm more known for my grime stuff. So that's over any 140 garage, sort of like raves from like some of my good friends who are promoters. That's like Fat Billy Sound and Pulse.
Yeah.
Big up to the guys, by the way. They're incredible, man. They've been doing this for the game really well for the last like 2 years. But yeah, that's what I'm mainly known for. But I didn't really start off doing that, to be honest. I started off like storytelling and going to jazz open mics and doing hip hop stuff. But essentially, I'm finding my route and my path, which all musicians do, and change in and out and experiment. And
of course, but is it more like just MC as in like freestyle, or you write songs as well? Like you got your own tracks and stuff?
I would say a bit of both. I definitely would say I write a lot more. And I lay down things because for example, I love to storytell. I love to tell a funny story, a serious story through music over any sort of like background. Something that really inspired me from early was like the Outkast song. You know, which one was it? One of the Outkast tracks, which is really happy and exciting.
Okay.
But the lyrics are really deep.
Yeah, they usually do that. Like it's like happy kind of like happy music, but then the lyrics are like very like deep and
so like I like to be able to just jump between my genres, and if it has to be serious, it's still grime, but like, and people think it sounds hard, but the series, like the lyrics actually mean something a bit to me
Mm-hmm.
as well. So yeah, I'd like to say a bit of both. Yeah.
You got any like songs out, like your actual tunes, or?
Yeah, so I mean, I only have one song out at the minute. It's
Mhm.
called "Afraid of Rejection." It's on my Instagram if you want to have a listen. I released that about a year ago, and that was like a super fun like thing for me to do because I wrote the song years ago. I was like, this is my time to actually try and do that. However, I don't really know if that's the avenue that I want to go with, because I think it's important now as an artist. I'm calling myself now an artist. Yeah. That you have to release music so that people have something to listen to when they're not actually out seeing you perform.
Yeah.
But then also I love the aspect of just going out and meeting a random person and coming up with something on the spot and vibing with it. It might go absolutely great, absolutely terrible, but like it's just like literally like rolling the dice every time you go out and perform. So yeah, I would like to make music, and I would say that I'm an artist and I've released songs. I've got lots of unreleased stuff as well with people, but don't know if that's actually.
Yeah, I think you should like try a bit of everything, and you see what's the right path for you. Yeah, it's crazy that MC thing, because like it's a UK. I mean, MC in general, like a new MCs, as in like actually like boom bap MCs. Like here in the UK it's like Grime, a lot of MC, and it's crazy. Like the way they do it, it's like it cannot be freestyle all of it. Like it's like, bro, like on it. It's like,
crazy,
what
man.
the hell is that? I remember the first time I heard them. I was like, I didn't believe that. I was like, impossible. It's freestyling that shit. It's like it's going hard, man. It's like it's cool, super cool. So they usually like end up in like raves or like I don't know, like events and stuff like that, and just pull up and then I don't know, grab the mic and you do it, or like it's a bit like planned, let's say.
I'd say more it's definitely planned now. When I started about a year and a half ago, it was very much just pull up and try, because I really wanted to like have something to do amongst like the scene and the music scene in Bristol. So if people don't know who you are, they're not going to book you, they're not going to ask you. So I had to pull up to the Crown and go do the open decks and open mic and perform for people. If people liked it, then they would ask for my Instagram, and promoters would be looking out and being like, oh, this guy's actually kind of good, I want him. Or they'd be like, this guy's not so good, let's wait for the next guy to come on. And so you have to do that for a while, but like after a while, like I'm now in the very privileged position to be able to know that like every now and then a promoter will come up to me and they'll say, hey, we've got this on this date, we want you to come and perform, which is just so cool.
How do you feel every time they say like, you wanna perform, like come and
it's so cool. It's so cool because like I think there's so many people in this scene. It's such an incredibly rich music scene we have in Bristol, and there's so many people doing exactly the same thing as you, or same thing as you but slightly different. But when someone really picks you out of a circle and say, that's the person that I want for this night, it's like, wow. God, like
I've been chosen. Like you feel like you got maybe something more.
I know, and it spurs you on to go further.
Yeah. How's the scene here? Is it very like competitive as well? Are you friends with everyone in the scene, or?
Definitely. I think the MC scene, not as much as maybe the DJ scene and stuff, but the MC scene is quite competitive, because a lot of bookings that I've started to get now actually are through cyphers, where you have multiple people and you have to come and spit. And so obviously when you get there, you want to be the best, you want to show something. And I think it's like, obviously it's a lot of pressure if you are just starting out and you're in a cypher with someone who's been doing it for years, that you will be thinking about that. But at the end as well, actually, money makes MCing very expensive, because people don't always want to book so many people. They don't have enough money to do it, because Bristol's very expensive. So if you're only going to get booked like once in a month, like that will be the one time that like one promoter will have the money to be able to do that for you. So yeah, I would say it's quite competitive.
Okay. Any beef you got?
No. Oh, do you know what? A lot of people ask me that question. They're like, yo, would you like clash with this person? It's not really in my nature, but I think it would be really exciting. Yeah,
Really?
I
Okay.
don't know. It's part of the culture of grime.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
if
of
you know
course. Yeah,
much
yeah.
about grime and
Mhm.
sort of the way that it comes with battle rapping and
Yeah,
clashing
yeah, of
all the
course.
way
It's
back.
part of the
Like,
game.
yeah.
All right. So what else do you do? Do you work size as well?
So yeah, I work at a size a shoe shop. And yeah, it's a really good job. Enjoy it.
Yeah. I watched the latest video you posted, and I don't know if you want to talk about it. We can cut it
Let's
out if
do
you
it.
want. I've seen like you being like racially attacked
Yeah.
at the shop there while you were working.
Yeah. Do you want to know the story?
Yeah, go on.
So yeah, basically, I'm just obviously on a regular day at work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Broadmead is obviously very well known to be
Yeah.
sometimes a bit sketchy, like on certain corners. That's why
It's the
Cabot
worst
Circus,
place in Bristol.
bro, is it's a
Yeah.
headache. But
Yeah.
regular day working. This guy just comes into the shop. I'm looking completely the opposite way. He doesn't make a single sound. He's walking very quietly but very quickly, and just comes right up to me and just over the head, like. And so I'm trying to back away, and he's shouting some like slurs I've never ever heard before.
Racist
Like,
stuff.
yeah, like this is awful. And I think it was a racially profiling thing. He decided to, I don't know what I can say, what I can't say, but
You can say whatever you want.
he decided, he was shouting, "You're a rapist, you're a murderer, you're a baby killer," and stuff like that. And like, bear in mind, like, I'm just a 20-year-old boy who's just come to, like, I don't actually really have enemies or anything like that. I stay out of trouble the whole of my life. I've been taught to do that from young. So I'm very confused. And that was really difficult, I think, later after figuring out, because my manager had to take him out. I didn't really know what to do. Because I'm very much someone I can be quite surface level, especially at work. I need to show the best version of myself. So snapping out of that wasn't an option for me. Like, I had to just go right to my customer back again and said, "Sorry, what size did you want, love?" She was horrified. I was like, "Sorry, love, like, I have no idea what happened, but I can't process this right now, so I'm going to need you to continue." Everybody in the shop is silent. Everyone's looking at me, because bear in mind, these people don't know who I am. So for all they know, this guy's shouting all these things. They could believe that.
Yeah.
And I hate that, because I'm not that. I'm nowhere near that. My friends can very much vouch for that, and it's really difficult for especially my friends to watch, because they're always telling me that I'm not, like, they were saying that after the incident that I'm the last person to have to go through that, which is really difficult. But yeah, it was really tough, man.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But what happened after that? Like, he hit you. Like, what? The police came, or like, what happened? Like,
so no police came. Obviously, we sent a report in. I sent a report to the police.
Well, the guy just left.
So my manager just pushes him out. He walks like nothing happened. And so I was just like replaying the situation a million times again and again in my head. Like I don't know if you've seen. The best way I'd describe it is what's that film called? The one with anxiety and anger, and they're all like working together. Inside Out.
Yeah.
I was anxiety. Like, I was just constantly just replaying, because I didn't really know how to handle it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, you did I don't know if I would have done the same thing, but like, you did the right thing, because obviously, like, it didn't really, it like wouldn't have solved like the situation. But yeah, bro, it's crazy. This kind of stuff happens, like, just out of the blue, randomly.
It can happen to any of us, though. That's the thing, because now, like, looking forward, it was a racial attack on me, but people get attacked every day. Like, you could get attacked. Anybody watching can get attacked. Like, not that you have to keep your wits about you, because I can't lie, now I'm a bit scarred. Like, I'll never put my back to that door at my workplace or anywhere in the street. I'm always listening out, which is obviously a sad effect that's happened because of this, but it can genuinely happen to anyone. Actually, I was just earlier on walking up Park Street, and some lady, she was just walking just in front of me, and some gentleman just goes like that in the face, like, and just starts walking with his beer in his hand, and we just had to ask if she was all right, because out of nowhere, it was just...
It's crazy. But you obviously need to keep all the eyes open, all the third eyes open. But it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like just aware of. Obviously, you need to be aware of the situation, but you shouldn't be like super aware of what's going on because somebody can attack you from behind.
Have you experienced anything?
I mean, we had like fights and stuff like that, but just I don't know. A few fights, like maybe like drunk people and stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, the right way is like fucking don't engage in that.
Exactly.
Because obviously, like either way, it can go wrong. Like if you like get punched, you get punched. If you punch them, they can fucking like sue you. They can go to hospital. They can fucking die. I don't know.
It takes one punch, and some people can really.
So like, there's no like, obviously, if you see like weirdos and like these kind of people, just like don't engage with them. But obviously, like you feel like fucking hurt because you're like I don't respond to that piece of shit.
If it's not in your nature as well, I think it can be also a very difficult thing to carry forward because, like, I mean, you seem like an absolutely lovely guy, and I can tell as well, like, that's obviously not in your nature, but you can be the nicest person in the world, and something can just come across you, and you have to just react how your body reacts genuinely.
Of course. Well, bro, I'm sorry that happened to you. It's
alright, man.
Yeah, it's shit. When I saw that, I was like, bro, like the videos wise.
It's not fun, but I did have to spin it back in my favour.
Bro, I did the right thing. I like that.
Just have to promote my stuff through it, and it's crazy because one of the interesting things about me doing that is, a lot of people said, well done for obviously turning it back, but do you know how crazy it is that you have to have a crazy situation happen to you or do something crazy on social media to gauge people's attention back? Because I'd obviously gone very quiet since my incident. I didn't make any music. I cancelled all my sets. I was quiet. I was away. I just wanted to be at home and do nothing. But and so promoters went quiet, friends went quiet, people forgot obviously what I was doing and all that stuff. I have to come out with this killer video. It's really, oh my God, guys, I got absolutely and then everyone's like back on your shoulder, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate all the like love that I got from it, and like I needed that to like really get back on my feet. But then you do just sort of think that like with social media and the way it is, you have to have something just really irregular happen or do something crazy
or do something controversial or something that like get people attention. Like what's your relationship with social media and all this part that you need to, or like I don't know, people have to do crazier and crazier things to get people's attention. You need to like do stuff. You cannot do like regular stuff, otherwise nobody's gonna watch like your videos. And like how do you feel about
I'm very split because I think if I want to sit here and slate social media a million times, it's very controversial. It's what's the word? It's contradicting. Because I absolutely love it. I spend a lot of hours every day, not just on social media, just researching social media. Like I need to know how algorithms work all the time. I need to know what the best thing for, say I do get the confidence to post something, I want to do it well. I want to know like and stuff like this. And so obviously like I think it has a lot of its downfalls with the fact that, like we say, like you have to do crazy stuff to actually gain recognition, which is a lot of people do it. And a lot of people, for example, when we were talking about like MCs clashing and beef, that comes through a lot of social media, and that's really bad in a way because it's like mental health and all these things come into factor. People say genuinely anything they want on social media because they're not in front of the person in front of them, and that can be really bad because you can genuinely just go past the line and there's no repercussions on you because this person isn't in front of you to tell you that you've crossed the line. And people get mentally really messed up, or they don't actually respond back on social media. They just walk away and take the pain. And that's really difficult. I'm very lucky that like I haven't experienced too much like really backlash or anything on social media, because I almost have tried to avoid social media lots of times posting to try and like stay away from obviously like the controversy, or if people speak about controversial things
Yeah.
online, I try to keep my opinion close to me, which is something I spoke about actually in the video as well. But yeah, like I think it's sorry, I like to ramble sometimes, but
That's right. That's right.
I think it's really like important with social media that we like sort of just like really find a level, or like cyberbullying and comments can just be stopped at a certain point, because you can literally like just cross that line and there's no coming back. Like, yeah, it's bad.
So do you think like social media does more good or bad overall?
I think, I mean, it's a question a lot bigger than me. That's what I know, and I would say that social media does more good because it has been very progressive for people, especially young people, for the last like 10 years. I would not be anywhere near I am with some of the things that I've achieved without social media. So I will be on the side that it does more good. However, it really is subjective. If you have gone through, people saying really bad things to you, you would say completely opposite because that's something that you've been through. Whereas I'm fortunate that I haven't as much. And so, yeah, it really just depends, and it's subjective. But personally for me, I would say that it's done its positives, and it's great. But then, like for example, the video that I put out, not only did that inform people obviously of how I was, and that was my way of communicating, which I really struggle to communicate anything racist, anything stuff like that. I will keep
a creative way to communicate.
But it was a way of communicating which was great, and it opened awareness for a lot of people, and also a lot of people are now aware that like I can stand up and say something if something really bad's happened to me, because I've grown up a lot up north. If you're a black guy, like for example, I come down to Bristol, I'm a black guy with a Yorkshire accent, people are almost frightened of it. Like, you have to overcompensate, and you have to be, oh wow, yes, good, oh this, just like how I was in the video. However, there is always a back to it, and it's really difficult for me to actually post a video. I thought, should I do this, should I not, because I'm not used to having to confront problems and stuff like that, but social media allowed me to share that with probably other people who have the same exact thing, where they don't want to speak out about maybe a racist thing that's happened to them or an experience that's gone really bad.
They can relate to that.
Social media,
it's good for that. It's good for that. Is the UK racist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course the UK is racist. I've experienced it my whole life. Like, I've known, and I've almost desensitized myself, or realized that I've had to learn certain things in the UK so that I forget that it's racist. Don't get me wrong, like places like Bristol is definitely one of the better places. It's very woke. People take care of each other, and it's very multicultural. But where I come from,
the more like north you go, the more racist I believe.
I don't know. Racism is everywhere. Like you could say the UK.
I mean,
racist,
the UK more like maybe the northern part is more like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so, definitely. I think people are just not exposed. So obviously racism's a peak thing, but then also like I sometimes do consider like, yeah, this person said this, but they have no idea. Like, they've never been exposed to somebody like me. And they've never been taught how to treat somebody like me or speak to me. And so like, that's not me giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's just me obviously just taking into consideration before I speak to anybody who's come from anywhere. But yeah, the UK is a little bit racist. It's a little bit racist.
Fair enough. Is that like your I don't know, the biggest struggle you had in life, because you said like you suffered from it, or is something else?
I would say that it's probably not the biggest issue I've struggled with, because a lot of people around the world struggle with it, and I'm not gonna really take it as an excuse. So, for example, overcompensating and being on the back foot of when I've grown up sometimes with people, sometimes even my friends who say things and behave in certain ways that I don't want them to, but if you can't beat them, join them mentality comes into play. I've managed to spin that into a positive thing. If I didn't go through the racism or the overcompensating, I would never be as charismatic and great in front of people as people say that I sometimes am. Like, that sort of trained me to sort of come to a place like Bristol, where there's a load of white kids in my accommodation, loads of white kids in my classes and stuff, and I can just be myself and be whoever I want to be, because at that point when you go through so much, you have to not care or use it to your advantage. Which is something that I've definitely had to do. So I wouldn't say it's the biggest issue, because it's actually worked in my favor at some point. However, obviously mentally these things
fuck you up a little bit.
They mess you
up.
It
gives you also, as you said, all these in general issues or struggles. You go through them, and then they make you a better, stronger person.
Exactly.
Let's say so. Amazing that you turned that negative into something positive.
Yeah.
What's your dream?
What's my dream? My dream is to be with my boys, my partner. We're all doing creative stuff, and just living really happily, just doing exactly what we want to do, not with any sort of interpretation from other people or comments on, oh, you shouldn't do this, you should do this. I want us to be doing exactly what we want to be doing. It's comfortable as well. I'm first generation, so we haven't got money right now, but I would love to add money to my family, my surname, and just spitting bars, just doing shows, doing social media. I want to try and do that more. I love this is cool.
And you are cool.
Yeah, exactly. And just just meeting more people, experiencing everything that you can, because life is about experiencing.
Yeah, 100% agree. And will your future be here in Bristol, or you imagine yourself somewhere else?
I would like to grow, definitely in Bristol. As of right now, Bristol seems to be the place for me. It's enlightened me to way more than I think I've ever been enlightened to in my life. But your previous video, is London the way, or is it Bristol? I don't know, man.
What do you think?
Oh, man, London has so much. A little boy from a village where I'm from is gonna get so giddy in London. I had one set in London, and oh my god, I was a tourist. I was a tourist. I was having I was like, yo, that's Big Ben, taking photos of Buckingham Palace, bro. I was going crazy. But it's very expensive in London, and maybe it is a bit too big as well. But Bristol,
it's a good size. I think London. If you come from, it depends. But I come from a small town in Italy, and for me, London would be too much. I think just bro, it's too much going on. It's huge. I don't know. You meet someone, and there is no chance. I mean, it's not no chance, but it's unlikely that you will bump into them in the street. Here in Bristol, you see faces, you recognize faces, you go to an event. I don't know, it's more community. Maybe London, obviously there is community, but I don't know, your area is your small Bristol. You hang out there, you got your pubs, your stuff, your friends. Obviously you can go other places, but it's not that every day you go. North, south, east.
What would your answer be, London or Bristol?
What, where would I live?
Yeah.
Bristol.
Okay, so if you're so confident on that, is there anything that you think that comes to your head straight away that would persuade you to make that change? Because, for example, exactly, this is what I mean.
If they say you come here, I give you money. I don't know, to be honest though. Because for me, right now, after 9 years in Bristol, I wouldn't want to move anywhere else apart from Italy. So if I move, I don't want to start again. It's long. And then so maybe I don't know, Milan, or not where I'm from, because it's small town. But somewhere in the north. But I wouldn't start again in London. Got many friends in London, go to visit them, and it's cool for the weekend. But after the weekend, I'm just just want to go back, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, couple of meals
Yeah.
will make me change my mind, maybe.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think it depends. Obviously, with money in the conversation, it makes it interesting when you think of the riches of culture, fun, how woke and how like together Bristol is, and then
Yeah.
money, future guarantee that London has.
Mm.
So it's weighing that up is really interesting, because I think Bristol's great and it's very culturally like rich and stuff like that, and which is what's made us both really happy being here. But sometimes the money and that stuff isn't there.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people, a lot of creatives especially, are having this decision where, do you go to London and follow the train of everybody that's doing that, of the chance that you might be able to, I don't know, make the money and feel comfortable, or do you stay somewhere that's really lovely and homely now because you've been here for so long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I don't know, like, maybe not money, it's more like the freedom, like, let me explain myself. Like, if you go there, you make money, and then you can just leave somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if I have to like pick my kind of city, it's more like a city like similar to Bristol than like London. What can we talk about? Do you want to talk about anything?
Yeah. I thought, obviously, when you come to ask me to do the interview, I was thinking like, so what is it he's coming to ask me? Because I have no idea what anyone would want to ask me. But obviously it's great now, obviously meeting you and having a conversation. But what do you think about, obviously, communication? The video, you saw it. That was a really, really big learning like curve for me to do with communication. Even my partner, so like the closest person to me at the minute, is trying to help me figure out communication, to be a good boyfriend, and with my best friends, whether they're like down and I'm really happy, or I'm really down and they're really happy.
Yeah.
Us boys communicating, especially as males, is something really difficult. What's your sort of opinion on that? Because I know this is great what you're doing, because this opens it up for us and it actually just settles in this like nice environment.
Like, just in a park on a bench. For me, like, I don't know, communication in general, you know what, like, you know, there is a lot of like videos and stuff that people like talk about their mental health and stuff like that, which is great, but the way they do it, I don't really like it. I explain why. Like, for me, like, obviously you have a conversation with someone, and if we talk about our mental health, it's because it just like, that's the like, it just like goes with the flow, and then we talk about that. It's not like that today's topic is like, you know, let's talk about this, because some people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And for me also, like, this gives you like an actual like conversation with someone can give you like something good for your mental health. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's more like, I don't know, I wanted to show like some real interactions with people, and asking people like, you know, their struggles, their dreams, but like as a conversation, not as a like
not as an interview.
As an interview. It's more like I don't know, more like human. That's because like social media is a lot of it is fake. That's I never like that. So I was like, let me try to do it my way, like more human, just like interaction between two human beings. Like, that's it. And and people like it because they can relate to what people say, because
exactly
at the end of the day, like, obviously we all have like different backgrounds and everything, but we all go through like similar emotions. Let's say, like, if you're like happy, sad, anything, like, you know, you go through like similar emotions, so people can relate. And then to be honest, I didn't really plan to do it. That's the thing. Like, I would just I wanted to like share stories with people. And then this became a thing.
Nice. I think it's really good as well, because a lot of people don't have, like, it's a very big privilege to have somebody that you can speak to and just not, for example, not be the surface level version of yourself, but actually just be calm. And so that's why I was so grateful for you like asking me to come and chat, because
appreciate that.
This chat, like, especially in Bristol, when you're in the music industry where you're constantly networking, isn't a normal thing. The natural side of it isn't. So I think a lot of people watching this will be maybe relating to things that you're saying
Of
or
course.
relating to things that I'm saying, because they don't have the person to actually have this conversation with, so it almost is covering that for them,
Yeah.
which I think is just an incredible thing that you've managed to just sort of do, because it takes a complete different outlook like on communication, and it's not necessarily the person that you're speaking to, but somebody can actually listen into someone who would like to tell something or give some advice, and then somebody actually who maybe doesn't have the person to speak to, but can hear out and get the advice that way.
Yeah, 100%. And and also I have to admit that on camera, I do it for me as well, because I'll tell you what, I've been meeting so many people that I didn't know in Bristol, and I'm literally like for half an hour, like 40 minutes, whatever, I have a conversation with somebody I don't know, like yourself. I didn't know you. Still don't know you.
Yeah.
But like you kind of create a connection.
I
can create a connection with this person, and it's just like amazing. I
It's
get to like
great.
speak with people that I don't know, and I don't know, just like that.
I think it's gonna make you a really good, like, better person, because when you take other people's experiences into your life and you consider that, I think it's like it's going to prepare you for so much.
Yeah.
Like there might be something that you have never seen before or heard before that someone's going to say, so that, like, I don't know, later on in your life, like you've heard somebody else's experience, you know how to stop it either from yourself or from somebody else.
Yeah.
Or something really happy, or like a pathway of life which is really positive that you hear from someone, and it just sort of inspires, and that it comes with you. But yeah, I think
and that happens when you have a conversation with anybody around. So like I'm kind of with this, I'm having a conversation with people, and then I can get like some knowledge as well. I can get some just like a nice interaction. And
guys, have conversations. Just do it. Just do it. This is
that people can see who you really are. Like you know, who like maybe they like you as an artist, but they don't know you, how you actually interact. Well,
I don't think anyone actually who listens or comes to the raves that I go and do has ever actually had a conversation like this.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, oh yes, bro, like, oh, such a good set, or I will be saying it to them exactly the same. Oh my god, loved your set, bro. Big ups, can't wait for the next one. But they'd have never actually heard me speak on especially without alcohol involved.
Yeah, they don't know you that way, like this way. Like just, as you are. Yeah, no, it's crazy. But so I hope I can show, I don't know, a different kind of Bristol, like a true Bristol.
A true Bristol, I like that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hear your side of, especially anything. I don't know if you've, like, since you've been in Bristol for so long, if there's any sort of like racism or struggles that you've sort of found within the city, because we love to preach the city because of everything it's given to us, just like social media, but at the same time I think Bristol does have its faults as well. So is there anything that you've experienced?
I mean, for me, when I got here 9 years ago, like I couldn't speak English at all. I literally came here, I thought I knew a little bit of English, but it was that kind of English that Italian teachers would teach, which they don't know how to speak English as well. So it was like even wrong. Like the pronunciation, everything was like, not correct. So when I got here, obviously, like I felt like, obviously I didn't belong to here, which I still don't belong to here. I mean, I feel like Bristol is home, but like obviously I'm not like English. I'm not from here, which is fine. Like obviously I have my roots somewhere else. But I have to say, like, I experienced something like, I don't know, some people just like taking the piece, maybe because of the accent, because I don't know, you pronounce the word incorrectly and stuff like that. But overall, I have to say, like, Brits, like when I got here, I remember the first like few months, I was like, bro, I ended up myself in like raves and like nights out, and I was just like with people, and they were like next to me, like listening to me, like, and even though I couldn't speak, like in Italy that wouldn't have happened, because like if you don't speak the language, they'd be like, hey, fuck off. You know what I mean? But like they would just like be like around you, and so that's what I learned as well, English, because people like listen, and people listen more here. than like in Italy, I would say. But yeah, overall, yeah, you feel like you don't belong here, and you feel like
Sorry about that. Yeah,
that's alright, it's alright. But like, yeah, be more like discrimination. But I understand that because I think that happens like, yeah, anywhere if you're not from the place. If you find someone that is like, taking the piss out of you. But to be honest, I never really cared because I was like, like I can speak like 2-3 languages.
Yeah.
How many languages can you
speak? Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm here in a different country, and I'm like, I got a job and stuff. Can you do that? Can you go to a different country and get a job? And, Yeah.
Is that what you'd sort of say to anybody else, not even just from Italy, but like people that want to move from somewhere, either in the UK or to Bristol? Because like I can slightly relate to it in the sense of like, well, I'm literally from like really up north. No one comes to Bristol really from like the north that often.
Yeah.
Compared to other places, so you don't always feel like, I don't know. I almost can't tell if people are taking the piss out of my accent or they're like being like, oh, like that's really cool that you sound like that. I don't know. You really don't know. So like falling into that gap of being kind of here and being a part of like the community, but not. It's always an interesting conversation, I think, with like moving abroad, because I know lots of people in the UK. Well, lots of people obviously aren't ambitious to even move out their own home, which is like a completely good. That's fine. Like if you're very comfortable where you are, like you should, as you should. But a lot of people also, they're like, oh, do I move to Australia? Do I move to New Zealand? I've heard all these really nice places. I'm gonna go find myself. Like, is that the right mentality or the thing to do? Because I know that like you can just be in sort of like a wave of people all going to this, but it might not actually be for you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know about like Brits. For us, it's a bit different because like you move to here, even though that because that there is no opportunities in Italy, you can't do like any kind of like good careers and stuff. Like salaries are shit, so it kind of that pushes you out of the country.
I see.
So that's not like obviously like you do it because you want to go abroad, but it's more because you can't find a job.
I see.
So like you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go to UK.
UK, yeah.
It's interesting. Thanks that you asked me that. Especially with the accent as well. It's at first I remember like while I was learning English, I was putting a lot of effort to try and sound English.
Yeah.
Now I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I'm like, I don't know. It's still like who I am as well. Like my roots, is like where I'm from.
You can't
lose
that.
You can't really, like sound as a. I don't know. If I sounded Brit, like why? I'm not.
No,
Brit.
yeah,
I'm not
you
Brit.
wouldn't.
Like it's a bit weird.
I think that's a really important thing, actually.
Yeah.
Like really, just not losing that, because I have the same. As much as I want to stay in Bristol, live in the south. Like my sister moved to Bristol, then to London. I might even do the same. I still want to sound like me. Like I can't not be the Yorkshire Anthony, because that's who I am.
It's
like
who you are, and then it would change your kind of attitude as well, because it changes you as a persona as well. If you change your accent, because it changes the way you speak. And
you shouldn't have to change yourself. Adapting is one thing to like new like places, but like yourself is yourself. You shouldn't really like have to be forced to lose that, especially if it comes through people taking the piss.
Yeah,
like that's a ridiculous reason for you to change your accent. I think that's not on.
A lot of people do that because people like take the piss out of them, so they wanna just blend in 100%. But yeah, I think it's the way you are. So yeah, who cares? People are gonna complain anyway. Maybe if you sounded English, like if I sounded English, they would be like, "How? Why you sound like that? You're from Italy." I don't know.
Oh, bro. The one thing I would say, just on literally everything even we've spoke about today, like obviously people get hurt about things, but if you just lower your expectation on the general public, as you like, if you think about how people are and how capable they are of awful things that they can do, if you just lower that, your life becomes so much more like relaxed. I've noticed that, like even with my situation with the racism thing, everyone is constantly being like, this is awful, like no one deserves this. I'm like, of course no one deserves this and this is terrible, but don't expect much more from the general public. People can be horrible, and people can call names, people can make fun of accents, people can make fun of like like I not that I expect it, but like let me just lower the expectations so that like I'm just like if it happens, I know I can bounce back better.
Yeah.
You bounced back incredibly. You still kept
yeah.
yourself, and that's the best version that you could have been throughout everything that you've been through.
Yeah,
So.
come on, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
that's
that.
all right.
Yeah, I think we're getting towards the end. Unless you wanna say something else.
Obviously, yeah. Black Anto on this.
God. MC.
MC. Yeah, I think I'm good. To be fair, I feel really good, man.
Nice. Gonna ask you just a couple of questions before we finish. Okay, if you were granted 3 wishes, how would you use them for?
How would I use them?
You can ask anything.
Oh God!
I'm the genie.
You're the genie, yeah.
Genie.
I would really like. Damn, it's really. I like to think a lot.
This genie got 60 seconds.
Okay. I would like. Okay, let's stop world hunger. Let's stop world hunger. Let's like increase everyone's happiness by like 100%. So like we can all like stop doing like awful things anymore. And maybe. Yeah, I could do some coin. To be fair, I could do some money. I'm not
how much we talking?
I think like
to be happy.
It would be fair with what's happened to me in life to like give me a good like give me like 10 grand. I'm not being greedy. Just give me 10 grand. Yeah, give me 10 grand to start. Give me 10 grand to start, and I'll be able to go off. I promise you. Once I get also be given that,
you can ask like 50.
Yeah.
I'll give
okay.
You 50.
I think I'll tell you, I will go with 50.
10, come on.
Yeah, that'll be my guess.
And I'm gonna ask you, what is something that you learned, like throughout your life, about people, that now you kind of change your mind about like people? You know what I mean? Like,
I would say, people always want what they can't get. In all circumstances in life, if with friends, relations, you might meet people and they're really lovely, but once they know they have you and they're really nice, they will always want the next best thing. And it's nature, it's common nature. If you put any animal with like a little bit of breadcrumb and then one huge loaf of bread, they're gonna skip. They're gonna like have the breadcrumb and then go to the big loaf, because everyone always wants what they can't get, and I think it's a really difficult thing. It causes lots of issues with people. Even or like, for example, you might really like your job, but a job will pay you higher, but you might not want that job. But people always go for the next bigger thing. Yeah, it's how it is. It's how it is.
Are we greedy?
We are greedy, and sometimes in a right way, and sometimes in the wrong way. But I think it's all right if you can accept that, not necessarily accept, I don't know how to describe it, but if you can come to terms with it, you'll live a little bit more peacefully. Like, I know there's so many people who I really like, I was very close with when I was younger, who have gone on to maybe better things and they've just left me behind. And that could very much happen the same with me and somebody else. But if you understand that, yeah, maybe it'll make you feel a little bit better. But yeah. You always want what you can't get.
Are you gonna be alright?
Yeah, I'm gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. We will be, of course, man. I'll be alright.
It's a pleasure, man.
Oh, bless. Honestly, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
That's very good, no?
This was great. After a long day of work, this is exactly what you need.
Just like a chat.
Yeah. Nah, it's good, man. It opens your mind up, bro.
Appreciate
oh, bless.
Come on.
Oh, I love that, man. That was really fun.
Super cool. Super cool.